Coming up on The Weekend View, the Met Gala was a who's who of couples who split. So find out which A-listers walked into an awkward reunion and who was able to avoid their ex. Now, the White Lotus star Amy Lou Wood sounds off on rumors about her off-screen relationship with co-star Walton Goggins. And how the Real Housewives of Miami are back with a vengeance over one housewife's new man. It all starts now on The Weekend View.
Was that excited enough? Monday night was the annual Met Gala. I don't know if you watched it. A lot of us did. Yeah. It's always packed with celebrities making a fashion statement. And did you see how good Whoopi looked?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Yeah. There were a lot of, what shall we call them, ex-celebrity couples in attendance. And some said a quick hello. Others found ways to completely avoid these exes. Now, my question is, like, if you, like, they were running into each other there. Some of them were, like, a little weird.
Did Miley Cyrus and Patrick Schwarzenegger date?
Like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And it was it was like 6 months.
The statute of limitations is over.
Yeah. Is it ever over?
Yeah.
So what happens to you guys? Has it happened to you? You run into an old...
You walk right up to them and talk to them.
What? That's so normal and evolved of you.
No, because, I mean, assuming it was an ex of a decent amount of time, you actually cared about him. Like, and so...
But it ended, and it probably ended badly.
It always ends badly, or it wouldn't end.
Exactly.
But the point is, usually you've moved on, and so it's just, you get it over with. You walk right up. I can say I wasn't received well 2 times in a row by the same person, but I thought that's his issue, not mine. And I continued to do it, because it's...
You continue to do it?
If you see him again, you're going to for a third time.
He's giving you a message.
No, I'm like, he'll get over it. Let's
so
see
when
how
you
long
say
his
not
healing
received
process
well,
is.
like act it out for me. When you say not received well, let me say, hi, how are you? I'm Sarah.
Well, you know what? We dated, and my friend wanted to go out with him, so I came running up to him, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long.
And his reaction was?
He was like, hey, like, just deadpan, like...
Did you break his heart?
I guess. I did not know until he iced me like twice in a row. But then I was trying to set him up with someone. We'd only been going out.
You were trying to set up your
ex?
That's not right.
Someone,
you don't set up exes?
Yeah, well, we only went out for 3 months, okay? It wasn't that long. It had been a year or two, and then I
see each other naked?
Okay, that's okay. You're not Catholic.
No. Once... Okay.
You're just a nice Iowa girl.
From the Pope show.
Yeah, no, this is a rule. There's a rule.
Okay,
if you have seen someone naked, that is someone that you avoid at all costs.
Well, who am I going to talk to then?
And you also do not set the person up with someone that you know.
He wasn't a bad guy. I just wasn't that into him.
But it's because that ex is probably disappointed. You probably won the breakup. You've clearly moved on if you're willing to set him up with other people.
Yes.
So you think you're doing a good gesture, but he thinks
not.
you're being like, oh, that sad man needs my help setting him up.
He was so rude that the 2 times I was with someone else, they were both like, what the hell? Like, that was awful.
What did you do to him, Sarah?
I did not know. I clearly stomped on his heart and left him in pieces.
But may I mention the Met Gala of all of this, even though this is very glamorous as well? I was watching, a lot of these are couples that were listed in this article that dated a million years ago. Miley Cyrus and Nick Jonas, that was like 20 years ago. But Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan, they attended together last year.
Yep.
They were like smoochy on the red carpet, and he did her dirty.
Oh,
She wrote a song saying, please, 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 don't do me wrong, basically. I'm misquoting it. So she wins the breakup, though, by being just in front of him on the red carpet in the most just fabulous outfit at this Met Gala. So that's another thing to do, is just show up looking excellent, and that's how you win the breakup.
What's the story with Bad Bunny and the Jenner girl? Are they still, because they were both there, right?
No, they broke up.
They broke up?
They broke up.
Yeah, but they always seem like...
They broke up in 2023.
Those breakups aren't all that.
No, I think they broke up, and I don't think they were like...
I don't know that you ever break up with Benito.
Yeah, but they did. And I don't think he was running up to her, Sarah. And I don't think that
setting him up better. setting her up with his friends. I will say they'd make beautiful children, though, if you want to reconsider.
That's very evolved.
I think anybody would make great children, beautiful children with Benito. But I was at a wedding fairly recently where there were two exes who had been married for a long time, and the wife doesn't speak to the husband. The husband, I think, could care less. But it was kind of uncomfortable for a lot of the people that were at the wedding because there's a lot of mutual friends. And then, you get caught. So I think the trick is you've got to go to events where there's at least 300 people. And then you've got to sit in opposite sides. You've got to drink profusely. And you've got to show up with a date. Whatever you do, do not show up alone.
That's a good one.
You got to look dressed to the nines. And you got to take it very cool.
Yeah, and ignore the other person.
I'm completely unbothered by you.
That's the best way.
I just ran into my ex-husband at my daughter's
You have a child together.
My daughter's starting a ceramic school, in Long Island.
Yeah.
And we came, both of us went there, and I spoke to him.
When was
did?
it? But you've been divorced for how long?
100 years.
Biatch. So, I have this show called My First Ex-Husband. So
I remember the story.
So he said his people come up to him and say, "How come you're not in that show?" And he said, "I'm too boring."
Hey, at least he
That's
knows.
self-awareness.
He said, I'm too boring, yeah.
And you were fine.
And then he said that the
speaking with him.
ceremony that we had, which was first we were in the Italian Catholic Church, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, then we went and did the Jewish ceremony.
Yeah.
So the Jews in the church, they were like surrounded by Jesus and all the saints. They were traumatized. And then my father had a yarmulke slapped on his head in the Jewish ceremony. The whole thing was crazy. He said that was the highlight of the whole marriage. You know what? I'm putting you in the show now. Okay? Okay. The White Lotus stars Amy Lou Wood and Walton Goggins. They were also at the Met Gala, and they've been hounded by rumors of a feud, which started when fans watched them go from fawning over each other in public, always a mistake, to unfollow each other on social media. Very nasty. Apparently, they refollowed each other again, and Amy was asked about reuniting with Walton Goggins, not goggles. What?
What are the chances that we might see you on SNL with Walton next week?
I couldn't say, but also I'm not doing that.
Would you want to? Or
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, it'd be fun. I love working with Walton. It was the best thing ever.
A lot of people get too caught up in what goes on social media, I think.
But I think she wouldn't do SNL also because she got very upset. SNL did a skit about her where they kind of made fun of her teeth. And I think it was very hurtful for her.
That's
right.
nice.
And so I'm not sure she's going to be gracing their stage anytime soon.
And SNL did apologize afterward.
Yeah,
they got some
That's
blowback for it.
rude.
So I actually see this different.
Okay.
I make a lot of what people do on social media because unfollowing someone's a pretty deliberate act.
It is
Right?
deliberate act.
Like if I take the time to go to your page and click unfollow, and even if they're private, you have to do a double unfollow because they give you this confirmation. That's
It sounds like
I'm
something you've
thinking,
done before.
I've definitely done it. I'm thinking enough about I want to not see you. So I think it's usually
How do
a
you
sign
know
that
when
something
somebody
significant happened.
unfollows somebody else? I don't even know how to look for that.
Yeah, how do you look for that?
I'm not sure, but I think media people found because they're celebrities.
Yeah.
Elon Musk knows how to do that.
He probably does. He does know how to do that. I think that's serious then. If it has to be so intentional, they must have had some kind of falling out, and then everybody caught the falling out, and they were like,
Yeah.
let's follow each other
But
again.
the fawning in public is the first mistake. You do that,
They're
and everybody.
staying in character. It's called method acting, Joy.
But they were so
were a
close
couple.
on set.
I know, but they were real. They were really fawning over each other too.
But the things they're showing you up there, that's them in scenes.
Well, then why would people on social media take that seriously?
Because they have nothing better to do.
Thank you.
Honest to goodness, people could unfollow me all they want, and I don't think I'd even notice that I was
wouldn't
being
notice either.
unfollowed. I don't know how you.
I think it's for celebrities because people write articles about it. Okay, fine. I'm gonna devolve this even further.
Yeah.
It became a big thing that Travis Kelce allegedly unfollowed
Ryan Reynolds. I saw
as
that.
part of the Blake Lively and Taylor Swift drama. Because
Really?
they vacation together, they're friends. It's apparently, that's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a proactive act
It's a
to click
breakup.
that.
I guess it means I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah.
When I see Real Housewives reunion, there's always some sort of you unfollowed me drama, and I never quite understand. I mean, I don't think I've ever unfollowed anybody because I've never followed anybody I don't want to follow.
Right.
Okay, well, things change sometimes. Oh, we'll be right back. We have more. Stay with us.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven.
So the trailer is out for the new season of The Real Housewives of Miami, the one that you don't watch.
Oh, don't tell the Bravo community I haven't caught up on Miami, but I will.
But you will now, because
I
I,
will.
know
I
you
totally
love
will.
The Housewives.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you'll watch it now,
I
right?
definitely will.
Well, anyway, it looks like they're coming back with some major man issues in Miami. Watch.
It's like a glove. He was sending really threatening text messages at the end.
Alexi Astrid Napola, I love you.
Oh my God.
I got home, Todd's gone. He's gone. I don't even want to be happy anymore.
I feel like people take advantage of me. And then you came into my life and that stopped and people are mad about it.
He's on all of our business calls.
Maybe he's our manager.
He's a social climber.
Okay, so clearly they don't trust this new guy. Wow. See? So let me ask you a question. If you were in a situation like that, would you speak up to protect your girlfriend and defend her or not?
Oh, I'd speak up
You
so
would.
loud in 3 languages. Yeah. So I do watch Miami. I kind of know 2 of the women, and I do know one. The one that's married to Martina Navratilova, Julia. We just had dinner together, so I know all the tea, but I'm not going to spill it, I promised.
All right.
But this happens a lot with this program, where there's men who sometimes show up in different seasons because they've dated more than one housewife. Yeah, like there was one in Orange County, Brooks, and the girlfriends kept telling Vicky, this man is a social climber, this man is a social climber, and they were right. And then there's the other one, which I also think is Orange County, Shannon. Who was Shannon with? What's his name?
How could you know so much about
I don't know. Because
I probably know all this. I didn't
anyways,
prepare
he was
for
a social climber to her. So I think this particular show attracts a lot of people
Alexa and Shannon, yes,
who want to be on TV, who want to become stars, who want to become known, and who want to live off somebody else's fame.
Well, take the TV part out of it and just imagine Friends for me.
Right.
I think you answer if asked, but you don't offer if not asked.
Bingo.
And this is why, because we all know those people, including ourselves, that trip on the same thing over and over, whether it's a person, a relationship.
Yep.
And until you heal and figure it out, you can't talk someone into not doing it over and over again. So I just don't think it's beneficial.
And I think the only exception maybe would be your absolute closest friend or like a sibling. If you felt like there was something
No, I
toxic.
did that with my siblings. It doesn't end
it's
well.
it's not a whole fit, but if it's something that you're like, this might be toxic and dangerous, I maybe would.
Dangerous is different.
Well,
dangerous is different.
Yes.
That is different.
But I had a girlfriend in my 20s, one of my very close friends, and she kept going back to a guy who was so unhealthy for her. And every time I fought her, and it really hurt our friendship.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until very recently they got married. Years later,
See, that
years
didn't
later,
work out?
no, they recently divorced, and now she's with a wonderful guy. But she needed to get there in her own time.
On her
I
own
was never
time.
going to convince her.
Yeah.
It's hard to do
You know,
that.
no one likes unsolicited advice. They just don't like it. So
Joy, do you hear that?
Yeah, Joy gives a lot of unsolicited advice. But no, I just...
Good
I just-
advice. Good advice.
Very good advice.
Thank you, Sonny. What's her name?
You
Sonny.
do. I listen.
Which one is that?
I listen to Joy's advice, but I don't think anybody wants unsolicited advice. So I just mind the business that pays me. If you like it, I love it for you. That's it. And then I'll let it fall apart in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'll be there to help you.
Let me ask you, oh
work
great
through it.
Wonder Woman, what's your advice for somebody who's trying to get over a bad girl who breaks up? What are you supposed to do then?
You go out with
breakups,
with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
You hang out. Like Anna, you if you see the person, you don't run to them like Sarah would.
definitely run to them,
You
'cause then it means
you
it's
basically
over.
just act
Definitely
unbothered
do that.
like that, and that's
Yeah,
it.
but you know what
Well,
the thing...
but that's a superficial way to handle it. How do you deal with it internally?
Do you remember
with
who
yourself?
you are? Because you've defined yourself in a couple for so long that now they're gone and you're hurting. You go find what you are again. You find the things you love,
You grab
the
your
people.
girlfriend and you go shopping or you go drinking or you
Go to a
go buy
sample
shoes
sale.
or you go get your hair
Drinking
done.
makes you call them, though.
Yeah,
so don't do
drinking
that.
just means I'm calling
Well,
them.
but why is it so painful to get over a breakup? Why? breaking up is hard to do.
Because it hurts your heart. It's like the grief of
especially
a
if you're the one
relationship.
that gets broken up with. Like, I always get broken up with. I don't do the breaking up.
It still surprises me that happens to me.
Yeah, I get broken up with.
See, I have a theory, a psychological theory. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's when she asks the question so she can then theorize. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, oh great oracle.
Okay, here it is. I got married very young, right? I was an unformed piece of protoplasm. and so was he, in a way. We were very young.
Yeah.
And we got married, and it actually felt like brother and sister sort of thing, you know?
Ew, and you went through with that.
No, we didn't. This is not conscious.
Okay. Yeah.
It's unconscious. So when you break up, or that he becomes like a parent and you become a parent, I don't know. So when you break up, it's not you're losing a husband or a boyfriend. You're losing a parent. You feel like a parent.
This is really twisted.
The parent has abandoned you.
You feel abandonment.
That's it.
Yeah.
You feel
Oh, I don't
abandoned
know,
by
Joy.
a parent.
No.
That'll be $50 each.
No.
A new survey finds that Gen Z, whoever they are, I never know who they are.
They're my kids.
They're
My
kids.
like
Okay.
18 to
They are
22,
rejecting pet names that they find patronizing, like honey, chick, and sugar. But they do like to use modern terms of affection, like bestie, bro, and queen. So
Yes,
Sarah,
queen.
Sarah, what do you think about pet names, Toots?
I love, you know what is the best pet name? When my brother-in-law's from Brazil, and he and my sister call each other amor no matter what, and they can be fight. When it started, I was like, this is so romantic. Everything they said was amor, amor, amor. Then they started fighting, and they'd be like, amor, and like, and like, but I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah. What's your husband's pet name for you?
He just calls me Sarah.
Okay, so my
very
husband
creative.
never calls me Alyssa.
He calls you chicken.
Yeah, it started as kitten, then it morphed into chicken. I'm not kidding. When he proposed, it was, will
Why
you marry me,
chicken?
chicken?
Why chicken?
I have no idea. But now, if I hear him say Alyssa, I'm like, oh no, what did I do? I'm terrified.
That's true with me, too, because when Steve says joy, I know something's up.
What does he call you?
Joie.
Oh, I
French.
love that.
Oh, he's
I
very
love
French
that.
every
So
once in a while.
romantic.
Joie.
He'll say joie, stop saying that, or joie, get off the couch. I don't know. Something.
Isn't part of
But
the
when he
reason
says
that you were
joy,
attracted to him because he could pronounce Marcel Proust's name?
the other guy could not.
Right.
But he was
called
so
him
good.
Proust, and that was the end of him.
Well, but he was so good in the sack, they kept him.
I love.
I was going to correct him one time, but it was too near bedtime.
I love Manny. Actually, my real name is Asuncion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Manny calls me Suncian. You guys have been
Yeah.
around us, so he calls me Suncian. And his father used to call his mother Cariño all the time.
Dear.
It's dear, but in Spanish. And Manny, about a couple of years ago, started calling me Cariño, and I love it.
Oh,
I
that's
absolutely love
so
it.
nice.
Was this after they had passed away?
Yes.
Has both his parents passed?
Yes.
That's very, very
really
sweet.
Yes, he calls
Well, you
me
know,
Cariño.
Latins love
A
nicknames.
little nickname.
Latins love nicknames, and and a lot of times the nicknames are like they make no sense, right? Like they'll call somebody young, mi vieja, my old woman, or they'll call somebody
My old
fat,
lady.
mi flaca. And they'll call somebody fat, thin, mi gorda.
Yeah.
The whole thing is very weird
It's so
like that.
endearing.
But why do you call your best friend Chubby then?
Well, but I'm the only one who can call him that, and he's the only one who can call me that, so don't ever try it or do it again in national TV. No, but Al calls me Mommy or Mami Linda or, yeah. So
That's
there's,
nice.
Okay.
Latin men love nicknames.
Well, you know what I call you? Putzana. We'll be right back.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven.
So this week, one of my fellow original co-hosts, Star Jones, joined Brian and Sonny on the Behind the Table podcast. Let's watch it.
I actually was very interested. You all had the whole conversation today on the show about weight loss and choices. And I thought, what a full circle moment for me to be in a dressing room listening to you all have the conversation. Whereas 20 years ago, it was shameful to be an overweight person. It was something that the late night host made tremendous fun with. People,
it was stigmatized.
Very much so. And I got so hugely criticized, as you all are aware, because I did not share my entire journey.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful that I followed my doctor's advice and not the public's advice, because the doctors really said to me, until you do the work on yourself to know why you have an addictive personality and you can't get control of your weight, you won't be successful in this, even if you use surgery to jumpstart it. Wow. Because I actually had to lose the weight in my head before I could lose it on my body. And because I took that advice and because I listened to myself and my doctors, it's 22 years and I've kept the weight off.
You look fantastic.
Yeah, you look great.
I mean, that is not something that people can fully appreciate.
Yeah.
That how hard it is to really change your lifestyle and your life. And
to do it in the public eye.
Yeah.
And to do it publicly.
Yeah. There's a lot of probing questions. A lot of people want to know. That's the other conversation.
Well, you know what, Brian, not for nothing, but people in hell want ice water. They don't get it. So just because you want to know something don't mean...
100% true.
You know, good for her.
Yeah,
she really
great.
She took the journey. I remember those days very well.
Yeah.
It was very hard for all of us to lose weight. We used to go to Weight Watchers meetings, and nobody lost weight.
Well, you used to host them here at the View studio.
Didn't you?
Well, we all went together. I was in the Weight Watchers group with you, Joy.
Yeah, Sonny was 5 pounds overweight.
I was like 5, a little more than that. Because, well, anyway,
I went once.
The reason that it didn't work for you, Joy.
Why?
If I may give you some unsolicited
Go,
advice.
Randy, sure.
You ate during the meetings.
It's a salad. That is a healthy salad.
How fat I was.
She would then she ate. I mean, this is actual footage. She ate. She would not get on the scale. So there was no accountability. No? And then you would invite us out for lunch after the Weight Watchers meeting, and we would drink.
That'll do the trick.
The scale is your enemy.
That's what you would say.
I actually believe that, though. So I loved what Star said because it's more about whole health. Like every woman would come up with things they want to change about their body or they want to be thinner or whatever. But it's not just about the number on the scale. It's about how healthy you are inside. Especially as you get older, it's like you can do all of these. Now we've got these miracle drugs that I actually really believe in that can help you lose weight. But you have to also be building strength. You have to be building your heart. And that's the work she did.
And I will say, in spending time with Star, she was incredibly vulnerable. Really, really vulnerable.
Because she almost lost her life.
Yeah,
like
she almost lost
But
her
don't you
life.
think part of it is
that was
also
something.
age? It's like, ay, que me importa.
You know what?
At this point, the older I get, the less
the woman
I care.
is happy now. She's got a great husband. She raised his child, who was a stepchild.
Yeah.
She went to therapy. She lost the weight. She's like great now.
Yeah, she's
Good
winning.
for her.
Yes,
Yeah. And you can catch Behind the Table wherever you get your podcasts or watch us on YouTube. Have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy
The Weekend View.